No, that was just the little intro thing. So now we got to do the clap again. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
You do it. Cool. Okay, now we're going to take two. Welcome, everyone, to the Who's in Knox podcast. Today I have Sydney Buckner on. She's a local artist here, and she's going to play us a couple songs, and then we're going to get to know her. Sydney, hi. Welcome.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. You look great. Are you ready to play?
Thank you. Yeah, I'll play a song.
Okay. What are you going to play for us?
It's called Tumble and Rage, and I wrote it a little under 2 months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's one of my newer ones.
I'm ready for it.
Glance over your shoulder. Breathe deep through the pain. Even when you get older, your youth remains.
That was really cool. You're one of the most unique artists that I've heard here in Knoxville.
Unique.
Very unique.
One of a kind.
Yeah, the one and only. Kind of like me, the one and only. Because no one that I've met does the finger picking stuff. So it'll slide all the way down.
This?
Nope. So if you put your headstock in, it'll rest on top of that, and then it'll lock into place. You'll see it. Yep, just like that. Okay. Well, bam.
Thank you for that coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Great job.
Was that sarcasm?
No, it was just poorly delivered celebration.
Well, you did good. That was awesome. And for everyone who heard the screaming kid in the background, Sundays are always a very busy time at Geezer's. So whenever we film, there's always something going on in the background. And today there's
support your local brew pub.
Mm-hmm. some kid got some crazy nitro brew and just went off the rails.
Oh, Lord.
Not really, figuratively speaking. But so what is that song all about anyway?
I don't think I know yet. Sometimes it's the one I wrote most recently.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the times I'll write a song and I won't exactly know what it's about, and then it'll sort of unfold.
Okay.
I think I know what some of it's about. It's if it's prophetic, I think it's promising that part of the lyrics are that your wounds are healed at last. I'm kind of holding on to that as a promise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're almost healed.
Yeah.
Almost getting through it.
Mm.
How do you begin writing? Because you said it, prophetic. It's I'm always very literal when I write, but like I said, you're far different than I am, but still unique. So how do you approach a song? I mean, they're so dense what you write.
So there's one of my favorite authors, Madeleine L'Engle. She wrote like A Wrinkle in Time.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Have you ever read any of her books?
I don't think I have, but I've heard A Wrinkle in Time.
They're awesome. They're like, she has all this stuff about how like, there's facts and then there's truth.
Okay.
And that you actually need fantasy and narrative to get to the truth. And because it kind of transcends beyond the facts. And so a lot of her fantasy, because she writes as fantasy, it's just got these really good nuggets of truth. Anyway, she talks about her artistic process in a book called Walking on Water.
Okay.
And takes the whole enunciation and makes it an allegory to her artistic process. And I read that and I vibed with it. It's like Gabriel, the angel, comes and
right.
You're gonna have she tells Mary you're gonna have a baby, but I feel that way with my art, is that there'll be something that happens in my life that's very piercing,
right?
Like pierce you through the heart, like that, the ecstasy of Saint Teresa, and it's like, oh, I don't know how to write that yet, but I know
it's there,
eventually
though.
It's like planted a seed, conception, and that eventually I'll bear that to term and it'll become a song. And so typically I'll have that feeling and it'll be a very intense experience and I'll be like, okay, this will become art eventually. And then whatever I'm kind of consuming, art, poetry, TV, books, music, whatever, all those images kind of are swimming in there. And then eventually I'll have a day where I'm just getting really bitchy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't know, I'll just have to shut everyone out and just if I take the time to write the music, I write the music, or I write the poem, and there it is, and it's a woman in travail or the labor pains, and I've always experienced it like that. Just sometimes it's the poetry that comes first, sometimes it's the music, but it'll be I'll have an experience and it'll be very painful, and I'll be like, I know that this has to become art, but I'll have to wait. And then eventually something will tell me I just have to get away from the world, and then I'll write the song.
My brother told me one time that you cannot rush art. No matter what you do. If you rush it, it's not going to be anything you want it to be. It's going to be this mutant, this blob. It's not going to have any structure of it's not going to really show the feelings that you have inside at the moment.
And I know it's probably it has the chance that I'm coming off crazy egotistical to be like, it's angel contact.
Those are the best artists, right? The ones that have that egotistic. It's like, this is something special. This is, and you allow that to happen to yourself. Yeah. Never apologize for your art. Never, ever, ever, ever apologize.
I'm not apologizing.
Well, I guess you were like, it might sound like this, and it might be true.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. So you got this really. I'm from Arizona, right? And so
I didn't know that.
And are you from Tennessee? Okay. So tell me how you have this. This almost. I think of it as a Midwestern, like the turquoise, the silver, the. Well, I guess I'll say...
Are you talking about my fashion?
I'm talking about your fashion, but your guitar, too. It has all these...
Oh, yeah, that's the Santa Fe.
Yeah, the Santa Fe. It has that New Mexican look to it.
Yeah.
Where did that come from, being from Tennessee?
I mean, I don't know where...
No, not
I
the
got
guitar,
it from Guitar
but
Center.
your style. Where's this coming from?
My dad played a takamine or a takamine.
Okay.
And I just really liked his guitar, and so when I got to pick out my guitar, I picked out this one, and I thought those inlays were just gorgeous.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're super pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know. Most of my fashion comes from Goodwill.
Same. I love my dollar suits from Goodwill.
Yeah, and my best friend made me this. This is a jade necklace. It's like a protective circle.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Thank you. They call it living stone.
So what does it do exactly?
I think it just depends on kind of the tradition that you're from, but it's supposed to bring about prosperity and protection and like balancing out the.
Have you heard of those bracelets? I don't know what they are, but I was talking to the girl in the McDonald's drive-thru, and she had one on, and she said when it comes off, it'll have warded off all the evil spirits.
Oh yeah, I've had stones and stuff like that before.
Thought that was really interesting.
Yeah,
So,
like if I lost it, I'm like, okay, well, I guess it did its job. Yeah, if it breaks.
Just doing its thing. So, what about your music then? What makes you write music like you do? Like, is that from your dad too?
Everyone has influences. I mean, in the sense that he like was half of the equation that brought me into this world.
Yeah.
Transitively, sure. I don't know. I did a bunch of covers, right? Isn't that where we all start? Covering our favorite artists. So I liked. I think I ended up doing a lot of finger picking because of my sister.
Oh, okay.
There was the one guitar, my dad's guitar, and we kind of needed moral support to get up and play, right?
Yeah.
So we'd always do duets. But both of us felt coolest when we were singing and playing guitar.
Okay.
So we would pick progressively more complicated songs. Because it's like, if I could learn the guitar part before you, I get to be the one holding the guitar when we're up on stage, and there is some like mild competition going on there.
I like that.
So that's why I would end up leaning towards, I think, that finger picking rhythmic style.
Okay.
Yeah.
The finger picking's pretty cool. It's hard. Do you ever use like the thumb picks?
Well, someone gifted me one recently, and I tried and got very frustrated.
Oh, okay. I've never touched it again.
Well, I'm sure if I had more diligence, I'm sure I'll pick it up. I want to learn slide too, but all of that stuff is going to take so much practice.
It takes a lot of practice, and you got to like sit there and do it. Like, instead of watching, what I'll do is watch Netflix, and I'll have my guitar right there, and then I'll just start playing along with whatever theme music's happening in the show.
Oh, that's clever. That's a great way to learn active listening. Yeah.
Like it's fun. It's interactive. Because otherwise you're kind of sitting there and you're like, should I have ADHD right now? I should. Yeah, I'm going to play this guitar and watch the TV at the same time.
Very nice.
So, did you grow up in Knoxville?
Yeah, in Oak Ridge.
In Oak Ridge?
So it's like 30 minutes away, but it's Knoxville. It's the Knoxville region.
It's kind of Knoxville.
Yeah.
Oak Ridge is very interesting.
Yeah.
It's, saw an apartment building, went and saw a friend, Nick Marlowe, the other day.
Oh, yeah, they do live out there.
Yeah, they do. And they live in this complex this apartment building that apparently all the old scientists used to live in. And there's like a jail underneath if there was a spy or something. They needed to lock someone up real quick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I bet Nick's witchy girlfriend loves that.
Hannah's cool.
Hannah's awesome.
Yeah.
She got me my favorite birthday gift ever.
Really? What was it?
It's this beautiful leather-bound notebook, like a journal with like really thick paper without any lines. It's like the sewn spine.
Oh,
it's
really?
Beautiful. Yeah.
Wow. That's nice. Have you used it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is it like do you journal? Is that
I do. I like journaling. I like sketchnoting. I try to be a little intentional and like record dreams on the left-hand side and then like daily life on the right-hand side and see if there's like a pattern.
Whoa. I've seen your sketches.
I do like sketching.
That's kind of how we met. We were sitting around the fire. Do you remember?
Oh, shoot. Yeah. That Halloween party.
It was the Halloween party.
Yeah, I do remember that. I was sketching.
You were sketching something, and I thought it looked like Hardy, the country music guy.
Edit it and put it on Instagram. You're like, he's going to love this.
He never responded.
It'll be a viral sensation.
It was funny.
Yeah.
So what about all these dreams? You talk a lot about dreams. Does that sounds like it's a big part of your life? It's just
Yeah, I think that even our waking life is a lot like. I think if you could
I know.
It's like the our waking
Gunnar.
life is like a dream, but genuinely, I feel that way. And because you know how if you're in a dream and you're becoming sort of lucid, or even if you aren't, like as soon as you start to interact with an aspect of your environment, it's mutable. It responds and changes. Like as soon as you like observe it, it's something new.
Yeah. No.
No.
I'm trying. I'm a layman. Hey, I don't. I mean, look at me. I wear black and white. That's what I do. And you're over here looking all spiffy.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
But I write sad country. You write. How would you describe your music? Really?
I don't know. It's got something bluesy, folky country with.
Okay.
And it's very lyric forward, lyric focused. I think I always really focus on lyrics when I'm listening. I'll pick up lyrics first. I think my music, I kind of get into a meditative state with it, like especially with like those loops with the rhythmic picking. I'll just kind of I don't know, it's a little worshipful, even though it might not sound like anything you'd hear at church necessarily.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
worship music is it's not like today's worship music where you get in the big business church and you're just sitting there on the guitar and you're just like laying down power chords.
Well, and that's all about building suspense and then never actually like reaching the end of that suspense so that you build up
That's
people's
for Jesus,
emotion.
that end of it.
It's a musical manipulation.
So, how do you know that? Where did you get that from? Musical manipulation. I've never heard of that. What is that? Is that Did you go to school for music?
No, I went to school for neuroscience.
No way. What?
Because I really was interested in like this intersection between mind, body, spirit. And
Okay.
I read a bunch
Yeah.
of like books, like Oliver Sacks. Have you read anything by Oliver Sacks?
No, I don't think I have.
He takes a lot of case studies and makes them exciting, with like narrative based, like The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a hat. And he's got all these books that are collections of case studies of like really unique, weird phenomenon with like pathology in the brain. So I would read all of his stuff and I was like, isn't it interesting that thinking can change the way your brain is wired? This thing that's invisible is changing something physical. And so that's literally, I went into neuroscience because I've always been interested in like that nebulous, the mechanism that connects spirit and body.
So what'd you learn? Do you have any epiphanies?
I mean, I learned it was way too much biochemistry and I really wanted philosophy.
I want to use words to explain this problem. I don't want to math it away.
Yeah. Apparently, if you want to get to the fun questions, you have to do so much disciplined, pay your dues and stuff. And I just didn't have that discipline.
Well, you know what they say about engineering and all the science guys. They're creatives who have a thing for math.
I love math. I think that the part of my brain that does like calculus is the part of my brain that does poetry. And I know that everyone's like left brain, right brain, but it's like a mental space where you're taking like functions and you're doing like, derivatives. And so it's the same thing of information, but you're basically doing a mathematical analogy that's got a graphical correlation, right?
Right.
You got the function that's like letters and numbers, but it's also got a representation that's graphical and it changes dimensions. It can be like really hyperdimensionality when it comes to calculus. And when I'm doing poetry, I'm taking ideas and concepts and I'm turning them into images and turning images back into ideas, and you just do that same sort of interpolation.
It makes sense.
Yeah. It's analogical calculus. Like analogy.
I'm sorry, Mr. Brown, but I don't. Mr. Brown was my old math teacher.
Oh, okay.
And, I don't. What is What did you say?
Analogical calculus. I don't know. I'm taking words that might not seem like they're supposed to be together.
Oh no,
squishing them
it
together.
sounds like it's a word. I don't know what kind of word it is.
It's like a mathematics, but without number.
Okay, a mathematic without number.
Poetry. It's just it's just poetry.
Okay, I get it. Math. It's a math without a number. Mind blown. Mind blown. I can't. So, did you what? So you're working as a school teacher now, right?
Yes.
And are you teaching calc and everything? Are you in the math?
I'm physical science, so basic algebra.
Okay.
And like Newton's laws.
Okay.
And periodic table.
Yep. That sounds like fun.
It is fun.
What about all these 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional graphs you were talking about? It doesn't sound like you get to those very often.
No, but I did them in high school.
Oh, okay.
I did all of my math in high school. I didn't have to do math in college because I went to Oak Ridge where they raise a bunch of nerds.
No way. Is that for real?
For real.
Do I need to raise my kids in Oak Ridge then?
I work for Knox County Schools. I don't want to seem like I'm competing with Oak Ridge schools. Public education's great wherever you go.
Okay, next question. Next. Math was always my favorite. It was a good subject for me. But writing was also good. So I understand what you were saying when it's like a process, it's a formula to get somewhere. Yeah. But it's not. It's this, because you can switch things out. It's that art of, do you have good taste? Right? And I think that happens in math too. When you can speak that language and then you can, because I've talked to guys who work at Oak Ridge and who've interned there, and they'll go off and show me this formula, and they're like, this is supposed to work in my head, but it's not working yet. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of like when you write a song. It's like, okay, I know this is supposed to work, but it's just really not coming together yet.
You can have apt metaphors and then ones that are just inept. Like, it's like, this resonates, and these things don't,
So what did your dad do? I'm kind of curious.
Oh, he worked at the lab. Now he's a teacher.
Oh, okay.
But he did what they call is cognitive radio, artificial intelligence.
Cognitive radio. Mm-hmm. Is that like remote viewing, that sort of thing?
No.
No.
I mean, maybe, but it was classified and he didn't tell me about it. But no, it was like artificial intelligence,
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you ever it sounded like you really following in his footsteps. I mean, you got the Santa Fe guitar.
It's
you
true.
Got the...
But also my mother's footsteps, because she's been a teacher since before she had me.
Okay. What did your mom teach?
Elementary school.
Okay, but like elementary school.
When you teach elementary school, you teach all of it.
All of it.
Reading, ELA, math, science.
Let's see. I was homeschooled, so I have to actually sit down and think about this. Like what parts were, because I didn't go to any kind of public school.
Yeah.
Like none at all. So, let's see. There's elementary, and then there's the
middle school.
Middle school. That's right. And then there's high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everyone says like, oh, when I was in 6th grade, like this happened. And I'm like,
you missed out on all the basic initiations.
That's why I'm so weird.
It's okay. We like weirdos here.
Knoxville's full of them.
Mm-hmm.
Knoxville's pretty cool for that. I really hope it's not gonna like tornado outside. Looking kind of woozy out there. I
love a blustery day.
Yeah, just like Winnie the Pooh.
I was thinking about Winnie the Pooh. Yeah.
So something that always influences me is kind of the imagery of cartoons and stuff growing up, and I think that really influenced me as an artist. Did that influence you at all?
I mean, I think that cartoons are one of the highest forms of art right now that you can make, honestly. Because it's like you can combine music, really good script writing, the narrative of storytelling, which I think everything is better told with narrative, and because it's animated, you're not limited by what you would film with a physical frame.
Right.
So it's just, if you've got something in your imagination that you really want to get out there, I feel like animation is like, especially
happen.
now with the technology that we have to do animation.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's just one of the highest art forms. It's got so much potential.
I can think of
Excuse me.
You're excused. I can think of a couple shows right now. What have we watched recently? I always think of Scooby-Doo. And then the new HBO Scooby-Doo that came out.
Is it good?
I haven't watched it, but I know other people have watched it, and it's kind of like an adult version of Scooby-Doo, which is interesting. And then speaking of adult, there's Big Mouth.
I don't like that. My students tried to get me to watch it, and it just wasn't my thing.
Your students tried to get you to watch it?
I teach high school.
It's a lot.
He was homeschooled, so he doesn't get it.
All my friends were public school. Now, come on. I know a little bit here. I'm not totally...
But no, it's mature. Students should not be watching that 100%.
Holy
I don't
jeez
like
Louise.
it. It's lewd.
Oh,
and it's just not. It's just not that funny.
It's what do you find funny?
I mean, I find funny stuff funny, Gunnar. Good comedy.
Like what? Like kind of like some Family Guy or some Bob's Burgers, like on the TV, or
I liked Bob's Burgers. I don't know if I guess Burgers makes me laugh out loud.
What makes you LOL? Sydney, what makes you LOL? All caps.
Well, the thing about comedy is that it's unexpected. So sitting here, me trying to like recall, I don't know. It's hard.
It just your brain's not wired like that. You're just thinking of everything else.
Yeah. Because I'll watch situational comedies, but I don't know if I'm like keeled over laughing, you know? Yeah, I like stand-up comedy, I guess.
Yeah? You really go deep in that?
Not deep.
Have you ever seen a stand-up comic live?
I like watching Brandy Augustus here in town, and she does like some tiny stage comedy. And
okay. I haven't seen many of the
locals
here yet.
Yeah. The locals are good. I really like local comedy around here.
When I was interviewing Hayden Bright, the locals were performing over here on the stage at Geezer's, and they were like, look, it's Robin Thicke and Barron Trump. Because we both had like suits on. And
he was Robin and you were the Trump.
Yep.
Ah! That's good. See, that's good comedy.
Yeah,
you're playing the room.
As a homeschool kid, that's hard. Comedy part's hard.
Like just getting all the referential humor?
Kinda, something like that. Yeah. I always make the joke that I'm German. I don't understand jokes. And really no one ever understands that one. They just look at me. But like,
is it because they're uncultured?
Maybe. I don't know.
They're like, German sounds like Nazis. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to
Then they
respond to
look
this.
at me and weird and walk away. They're like, oh no, can't be involved with this guy. I was gonna ask you something about your writing because of the comedy. What was it? I don't know.
That's okay.
I don't know what it was. I honestly want to hear some more of your music.
Okay.
Could you play us another one?
I can. Will it give it back? Okay. Okay, let's see. Got all of this touch and stuff.
Because I know you had your it was the first single. Your first single.
It's going to be released on Thursday.
On a Thursday. Are you excited?
I am, yeah.
I'm kind of excited to hear it. And it's not the one that you just played.
No, it's not.
No, it's
well, it's called Call My Bluff.
Okay.
I could play that one.
Can you play that one?
I could play that one. It's I wrote it when I was like 19. So
really?
And I'm 27. So
okay.
A little under a decade.
Wow.
When I was first writing music, I wrote a book. Rainier Marie Rilke wrote a book called Letters to a Young Poet, and I read that, and he was like, because the whole premise of this series of letters is this guy writes him, and he's like, is my poetry any good? And he's responding to the guy, and he's like, well, no, but you shouldn't ask people that. Like if you really want to be a poet, you need to like look inside yourself and write Write from the heart and ask yourself, if you weren't allowed to write poetry, could you keep on living? And if the answer is no, you're probably a poet and you need to devote your whole life to it, right? So there's a period of time where I was writing songs, and I was writing songs about, like, Doctor Who. I was, T-Rock was like this, Time Lord Rock was like this whole thing. I was writing music, but it wasn't coming from my heart. And then I read that book, and life got hard, and things kind of locked into place. And so this song is like one of the first songs I was like, this is from my heart. Yeah.
I have one of those I want to show to you afterwards.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I love sharing. I love sharing with other artists. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is, you can't live life without sharing.
Well, no.
You're
It
gonna
would be
like
hell.
this weirdo. And it's
It'd be totally
awful.
isolated. It would be hell.
We're social creatures.
Yeah.
By design.
Rightly so. Okay. I guess I'll do the thing.
Do it.
This world will never starve for lack of lovers. It's about time this one went undercover until you call my bluff. I'll be another gem in this goddamn rough. There was a time I poured out my whole soul into hearts of people I didn't really know. And at the time it would flow and flow and flow and flow and flow and flow. When my well was deep. Oh, oh, oh. And at the time it wasn't such a crime. But now I find that my wells run dry, and all I do is cry and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. And the tears, they sting. Oh, oh. This world will never starve for lack of wonders. Who the hell is left but I to wonder? When will my blood chill? And when will my love condense and refill my well? And will I be well when my well is deep? Will you call my bluff? When my well is deep, will you call my bluff?
You wrote that at 19.
At 19, yes.
There's some $4 words in there.
$4.
$4. $2 are expensive, but $4 are explicit.
Like what? Like which words?
You said the what'd you say? You said goddamn.
Oh, I did say goddamn.
Yeah.
Explicit.
Explicit. A lot of people will say drop a F-bomb once in a while, but they won't say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because if God damns it, it doesn't exist anymore.
It's poof.
But guys, it's the Orthodox Easter yesterday. The harrowing of hell literally means that Jesus went into hell, which means that the damned has God in it. Like, there is no place where God isn't, because God literally went into hell to break down the doors of death. So, which I love. Because, like, when you're at your deepest, darkest, achiest, like, you feel like there's nobody there, Jesus is there. God is there. Like, there's still the presence of divinity. That is...
Was he there before he went down there?
I mean, time is funny business. I write poems, too. I don't just, like, write music, right? And so I've got a lyric that's like, time isn't what you thought it was, and I don't do like they taught it does, because the pastor's preaching's all abuzz, piercing the veils of Sundays. And there's more, but like, for me, time and however you interpret divine allegory, or like, cosmology or different traditions, like myths about creation, or like whatever the gods have done that influenced Earth. We like to think of it as, A happened and then B happened and then C happened. But in some, like, even if you do like a Catholic Mass or like an Orthodox liturgy, there's this idea that when you're there in the Mass, this is a moment that is happening past, present, future, that every Mass is that Mass. And so that, like, the divine story is playing out in that moment. It's playing out in everyone's life and their heart. It's playing out as people groups. I don't know. So
There's a lot of Mass happening.
Yes and no.
It's not happening. It is and has been and always will be.
Yes. World without end. Amen. Amen. Speaking of dreams.
Speaking of.
I had a dream once where...
Was I in it?
No.
Oh.
It's not unheard of. But this one, no. And I was in like a shop, like a bazaar, like a market.
Okay.
And I was going shop to shop, and there was it was like a glass vial. It was kind of like a dagger sheath, and I really wanted to take it with me. And then an attendant just pops up, boop, and he's like, "You can't take that with you, but I'll give you this instead." And he tells me, "Everything is a ritual." And I wake up. Everything is a ritual. What? It's all a sacrament. Yeah, it was awesome.
You have you got some interesting dreams.
I do.
Do you think that you have dreams like that because of how much influence, I'll say, from like books and everything else you've crammed into your brain?
Maybe. I was hyperlexic as a kid. Like, I read and read and read. I don't know if you didn't go to public school.
No.
But I was a kid in public school who I would be like reading down.
You're
down
Hermione Granger.
I was like walking down the halls reading. Yeah. And at lunch, I would finish my work real fast just to read. Yeah. I was reading all the time.
Whoa. Step into my office. Let's talk about some therapy right now, real quick.
Therapy?
I feel like if someone does
Dr.
that...
Gunnar. What's your last name again?
Fritz.
Oh, Dr. Fritz.
Were you hiding from something?
Probably.
It sounds like I'm just going to hide in this book real quick, and I'm going to cut some peepholes out just in case.
Yeah, I bet.
So I don't run into anyone.
There was plenty of escapism there.
Oh,
yeah.
man. Mm-hmm. I did that with music.
Good.
That was just...
My music was censored. I had a different... I was like...
You had censored music?
No, like, I wasn't allowed to listen to music unless it was Christian music for a very long time.
Oh, okay.
I remember in middle school, a boyfriend made me CDs, and I felt like I had to hide them. Like, they had AC/DC on them, and, rock and roll. It was the devil's music.
I'm on the highway to hell.
Yeah.
Whoa. I think I hid some CDs from my mom. Yeah. Did they have some Eminem on there? Is that the real reason you were hiding them?
No. It took me a while to get into hip-hop.
Okay. I didn't get into it until 2016. I didn't even know what it was. I was like, Drake? Ew. No. But it was all like My Chemical Romance and like all the Warped Tour guys and
Very
all the
good.
scene music.
When I hit puberty, Maroon 5,
Oh boy.
303. I didn't
Oh,
know
boy.
what it meant to be horny, but I experienced it by their music. Oh yeah.
Freak 'em, Adam Levine out here, dude.
Ooh.
Just that Super Bowl commercial or the halftime show.
I don't know if I know it.
You didn't watch with Adam Levine?
I will now. YouTube.
Shirt just came off.
Ooh.
Boom. It was all out
It
there.
was all
He was
over.
oiled up and everything.
Very nice.
And then SpongeBob performed with Travis Scott. And that was pretty cool too.
So it was recent?
This was 2019.
Okay.
2019 Super Bowl, I think. Yeah, we hit. You know when you hit one of those roadblocks, you're like, oh, the new traffics aren't working. They're not kicking in. So,
You mean up here?
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking we were thinking about Adam Levine shirtless.
Oh, oh, no.
It's like, oh, full stop. Full
I
stop. We're
can't stop.
diverting all of our mental researches to this fantasy.
Damn you, Adam Levine. Ah. No, he's cool. But what was that guy from who sang Skyway Avenue? Oh, he looked like Carrot Top almost. From We the Kids. Is that what the band's name is?
Kings of Leon.
No, not the
Okay.
Kings of Leon. But I remember them. They were a big deal.
I don't know.
I'm the same age as you. I'm 27 too. So,
Look at that.
when's your birthday anyway?
December. I'm a Sagittarius.
December.
sun.
Well, I'm a Sagittarius too. December, baby.
13. Who's older?
You.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm 21.
I'm the elder.
I'm a youngin'. You know. It's always weird that having that birthday right there.
Because it's so close to Christmas.
No, it's close to Christmas, but it's also like when you're around other kids your age, you're always like the older one in that younger group because you can go either way.
I see.
So it's always weird like that. So you were always reading books as a kid. You're competing with your sister to see who could play the better song.
Yeah.
I love that. I really love
She's
that.
a songwriter too. She's very good. Maddie. She's
Yeah?
out in Cookville though. I'm trying to get her to move here.
Yeah,
I'm like,
get her up
move
here.
to Knoxville. The music scene is awesome.
I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that when I moved here.
No?
No, wasn't expecting that at all. Because I know what Nashville was like. I lived there for a little while. But, out in Arizona, it's all like metal. Like,
I was playing open mics as like a 17-year-old around here.
oh, really?
Yeah, because we had like in Oak Ridge coffee houses.
Okay.
We did fundraisers for the free medical clinic. So a bunch of us would get together in a church basement and do like a coffee house. And then the open
That
chord
sounds
had an
pretty
open
cool.
mic and I could get in even though I wasn't, 18, 21 yet.
Yep.
Secret City Ciphers. So Mr. Ill, who's in a duo called The Products that are just hitting it big right now. He was like organizing these ciphers that I would go to, and this is when I really got into hip hop, especially local hip hop, because it would be a live band, and people would cipher. They do like live freestyle, or if they had some prepared verses. It's kind of an open mic for that cipher environment. But Mr. Ill, he was opening it up to spoken word poets, to singer-songwriters, like magicians, dancers, like anyone who wanted to come and share that space in the stage artistically.
I love that.
It was awesome. That's when I learned to jam for the first time.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. I've seen you get up there and jam before. I mean, shoot. That's one thing I'm not too good at, so I always kind of like lull over everyone else who can do it. It's like, oh, you're cool.
I wouldn't say I'm all that good at it, but I definitely learned back then that less is more, and you can listen and just play like one note and still be part of the crew. Like,
So are you getting out and playing with other people right now? Are you?
it's been kind of like the last couple of months have been a little bit of a hibernation period. I've been
Right.
kind
But
of burnt
you
out.
before that you were playing with a lot of different people.
Yeah, I was. I'm trying to say yes to most things right now. Like, I don't want to close any doors.
You got to keep the vibes open.
Yeah.
You know what you got to do? You got to get on the social. You just-
Collaboration over competition. I think it makes us stronger.
Yeah. Anything no exertion, just kind of like they got to come to you. First is first.
Attract, don't chase. Yeah.
And then you could just go live, like go live on the TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't do TikTok.
You don't like TikTok?
Well, I just haven't quite figured out how to jailbreak it for myself. Someone will send me a link, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Like I feel like a Luddite, like a grandpa. I'll click it, and then the app will open, and it won't send me to that link that they sent me. It wants me to do other things. I'm like, I like memes. I like stationary text on a picture. I like memes.
Do you call them memes too?
Yeah.
What else do you call them? It's like a joke, but it's a meme, right? Because that's what it was.
Back in my day, we used to print memes off and hand them to you like a paper. I printed this off for you, like in the hallway in high school. We did.
Did they actually do that? They printed it off?
I mean, I don't know if people did that anywhere but Oak Ridge, but like we definitely did that. We'd print them off. We'd put them on people's lockers. We'd like pass them in the notebook.
That's hilarious.
We had a whole Facebook group that was like Oak Ridge high school teacher memes, where we like took their picture out of the yearbook and we made them into memes, like people at our school. It was very low key pranks.
I love that. Yeah. I didn't even think about doing that. I mean, I just remember seeing Pepe and he was doing his thing, and I'd be like, keep scrolling on Facebook, you know?
That success baby. Whatever the wolf, like.
The wolf?
There was a wolf. There was a chicken. There was a.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember all of them.
I don't remember. God, I do not remember.
I wonder how accessible this is for your everyday listener.
I don't know. I mean, they probably not a lot, unless they're our age and they know what the dial-up sounds like. You know, dial-up internet. You know what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't know what I'm talking about. Like my little brothers, they never even heard that sound before. So they're just doing their thing. Well, I want to know more about a whole lot now that I know that you're from Oak Ridge, and now that I know that probably all the other kids, all their parents were working at the lab and everything. I have so many questions.
It's like the TV show Eureka.
Eureka?
Have you seen it?
I don't think I have. I like movies. I don't really do the shows.
It's kind of, there's a government lab, and so there's a school where all of the people who work at the lab, their kids go to the school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's what you did.
That's what Oak Ridge is like. In some ways.
Oh, that's really funny. Okay, well, let's wrap it up here and tell everyone about your new single coming out, where they can find it.
On Spotify and other places where you stream music. It's going to be coming out on 4/20. At 4:20 p.m. It's hard to forget.
I wonder why.
It's because it's hilarious. It's like saying it's going to be June 9th, 69.
Oh my God.
But I could get it out sooner.
You're funny.
I teach high school.
You have to be funny. You got to keep them going. You got to. Hey, look at the chick. Look over here. Look over here. Oh my God. Have you? No more questions. We're gonna. No, we already started the wrap up. Then
cut it out.
Okay. And what's the single called?
Call My Bluff.
Okay. And everyone, where do they go to find it? Where do they find you? How do they contact you?
Oh, I'm on Instagram. Tunes with Sid.
Tunes with Sid.
Tunes with Sid. Yeah.
That's like the go-to on the Instagram.
And it'll be on. And Sydney Buckner is my name, so I'm assuming you just find it on like Spotify, Apple Music, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Hey, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Gunnar.
This was fun.
Thank you. Wow.
All right, everyone. Sydney Buckner.